Hello, this is Crypto CJ. It's the Friday afternoon Zoom trade of the day, and Bitcoin had a negative reaction to the consumer price index news early this morning. It did go down, but not horribly so. Some of the other alts went down. Bitcoin went down about 3%, and some of the alts went down close to 10%. Ethereum went down even more than 3%, which surprised me. We'll look at both of those charts. So let's head over to Bitcoin for now. Okay, you should see my Bitcoin day chart.
Yes.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay, we're still in the range that I drew a couple sessions ago. And that is 32,000 on the top, 28.5 on the bottom. We've been hanging around 29K most of the day. So you can see Bitcoin's down 3% since the close yesterday. So the CPI news came out at 8:30 a.m. Eastern, and that had something to do with this drop here. It's 5:30 Pacific, so came down pretty quickly. Well, it came down here, then bounced up, then came down again. So stuff like this is so annoying, because what effect does 8.6% as opposed to 8.3% really have on the price of Bitcoin? It's strange to me. Regardless, we did have that drop, but it did create some nice dip trading opportunities. So I like that, and we're going to be looking at some of those in a few minutes. I'm curious to see if we have a similar move to what we had last week. If I recall correctly, Friday we had a dip and then a nice move over the weekend. So let's see, today is the 10th, so that would have been the 3rd. No, maybe I'm misremembering, but regardless, last week was better than usual. So hopefully we get a similar weekend this weekend. And Ethereum had some pretty good news come out about a test involving the 2.0 project. So I expected to see better results and more resiliency from Ethereum, but we didn't get that. It dropped, so you can see, about double than what Bitcoin dropped today. Maybe it'll make a recovery over the weekend. So you can see I put my divergence alerts back on. I hadn't traded these in a while, but they're looking pretty good now. Each one here on Ethereum has had a nice move up, after the candle close that was flagged for divergence. And a quick review, if you want to load this one, it's a divergence from any indicators version 4. You can see it's been downloaded a lot, over 12,000 times on TradingView. So I've had some success with using this. It does have some predictive value, I'd say about 60–70%. And since we're on Altcoin Alert, we're usually looking for about a 3% move. I'm on the 4-hour chart at the moment. I was looking at this earlier on the 1 hour, and this just closed. So we have 3 indicators in divergence. We have a red candle forming. So I think if we get a green candle between now and 3 p.m. Pacific, this might be something to consider. I hadn't done my superstitious Ethereum short in quite a while, so I initiated that this morning. And for those of you who are new, I've had terrible luck when I short the market when it's plunging. So a running joke we've had for the past 6 months to a year is that whenever CJ shorts something like that, the market's going to bounce up. Because for those of you maybe not familiar with leverage trading, shorting is when you make money when it goes down. So I have a small short on Ethereum right now. So of course it's going up. At least it was earlier today. Now this hour candle's coming down a bit, but so we'll see if my superpower kicks in and pushes up the price of Ethereum and the rest of the altcoins. Some of my more experienced traders on here aren't enjoying that joke anymore, because I've said it too many times. So. And they want me to warn them when I do
You're a
it.
brave man, though, to short that today.
Yeah, it wasn't much money, but I thought, I haven't done this in a while, see what happens. So, okay, well, any questions or comments about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the market overall?
Yeah, when's it going to get better?
When? All right, my prediction is, let's look at the fear and greed index. I'm looking at iCoin Pro now, but this is on, you can find this pretty much anywhere at this alternative.me website. I also put this on my emails, so we're in extreme fear. This is usually a good time to buy, and this meter should tick up soon, but it's been hanging
Wasn't it
around this extreme
17
fear.
yesterday?
Yeah, it updates every 24 hours.
Wow.
So that's not really helping us. I was hoping to see it tick up to 17 or over 20, but we've been in the teens, even down as low as 8 for the last several weeks. So that doesn't really answer Craig's question. We can look at my old Fibonacci retracements. And in fact, we've been at the bottom zone. This is the low we had last summer, I believe, when I drew this line. Yeah, in July 21st. So we're hanging in there on the support, but like Kevin said the other day, Kevin Hokawana, someone we follow, if this keeps touching, eventually the buyers are going to run out of funds, and it's going to keep plunging. So what we need is a drop. I mean, a bounce after this drop. Let's see if we're still bullish on the week. Now we're in danger of printing a red candle again. We finally got a green candle on Sunday night after 9 straight weekly candles being red. So, Craig, I don't know. It's a long way of saying that.
I would say, unfortunately, as we know, we're so connected with the NASDAQ and the stock market and the world economy. So the world economy is not in good shape. And even though there was only a small difference in the CPI, compared, it was worse than anticipated. So I think the price was already baked in for what everybody was projecting. And just like any reports, if reports come out worse than the projection, whatever the projection is, it usually does have an adverse effect. And, we do need to see some kind of a loosening up with the oil prices and food prices. I mean, there's got to be a reversal in the whole economy. A lot of the stock market analysts that are the real smart people, they don't think this is the bottom for the stock market. So that's the other issue. It's possible the other shoe hasn't dropped fully yet.
Yeah, that's what we've been hearing, to some degree for the past few weeks. And then Bitcoin keeps hanging in there between 29 and 30, but it can't really push much beyond it.
No,
there's not enough retail probably to pile on to make that happen.
Yeah, be great if it could stay in this range during these hard times. I mean, that's almost even as almost the new up.
Yeah, I would view that as a win if we can keep holding this, the support through these difficult times. And with if things get better, I'm not sure how the federal thing makes things, if their interest rates will bring down inflation or not. There's a lot of news in several sectors, like you said. I was reading about real estate today, how there's practically no houses to buy under 500,000 because corporations are swooping in and buying them. And I don't want to go off on too many tangents here. This is a crypto show, but like Robert said, the whole economy is intertwined. And as much as I would love for crypto to break away from the rest of the economy. It just hasn't worked out that way. It's still an on-risk asset, and people evaluate it accordingly and dump during uncertainty. So all we can do is let's see and hope that, see if this support holds. And if the support holds, then the altcoins usually take off. Usually the best situation for the altcoins is for Bitcoin to rise slowly. If it goes up too fast, then people buy Bitcoin and dump altcoins. That doesn't help us either. But anyway, well, we've talked about that for quite a while. Anything else before we go to Altcoin Alert? See if we can find some trades. Okay, Altcoin Alert. I am on the altcoin radar. And my first sort is going to be by AA score. We've got Blue Zell. I was looking at this earlier. I prefer to see very bullish 88 or higher, but we'll go ahead and go with the 77.2. And I did kind of like what I saw here. Look at the day chart first, see the big picture, a big drop. All the coins pretty much look like this. They had highs in somewhere between October and December, then gave up almost all those profits, 80+%, but a nice recovery from Blue Zell in the last few days.
Wow. Maybe there's some news on that. That was a
I
big
looked,
move.
I didn't see any. We've got this big pump here, well over, close to 200%. Gave up about half of that, pumped up again. Now it's down a little bit. Double check that. Nothing came up the last time I clicked this, so yeah, I don't want to try to read something while you guys are on here, but yeah, I'm not seeing anything jumping out at me regarding Blue Zell on the news feed. All right, so we had the big move in the last week on the 5-minute. We have kind of a lumpy bubble here for a 1, 2, 3 dip trade, but we're too late for it. Looks like we're beyond the SMA line now. So we had this nice move up. We have not really much of a squeeze, kind of a bubbly squeeze, and then a bigger bubble. But we do get the drop here. 1, 2, 3 green candle. So this is a go, from this morning. And it's a nice quick 3% move in 40 minutes. Love that as a day trader. Now, if you're a little more aggressive, you go to the SMA line. That's close to 9%. That coincides with this resistance here. And then we got the final resistance in this frame up here at about 16% for if it hits 20 cents. I probably would have been around here and just missed it towards the high end of this resistance here. So had I gotten in there, missed it, drops 5%. It's probably not enough of a drop to justify a ladder buy. Hang on in there. I'd be in profit right now, about 1.5%. And I might hold this to the top of the Bollinger Band for 3.9 in 4 hours. That's still a really good day trade. But we missed all that. So what do we do now? This is where,
like it's ready for a short.
Perhaps. I don't like to make that determination on this kind of structure on the 5-minute chart. Before I get to that shorting opportunity, though, let's look at some of the alerts we can set to get a better entry. So we've got some short-term support here, right around 17 cents. We're pretty close to that now. Maybe you go in small there. There's some more support here, about 16.7. That might be another place to put your price alert. Catch that dip if you get one. I prefer indicators for my my alerts, and I have the MFI here, money flow index, RSI here, relative strength index. And I like to look and see which have triggered recent profitable moves. So we had this MFI drop below the 20 here. So I'm looking for is a drop below 20 and then a rise. I can set an alert on that. So we have that here, and that's a really good entry on the 15-minute chart. Yeah, that's 9% in an hour. That's an outstanding day trade. But it's at 4 in the morning, so probably would not have been involved in that. I used to set alerts and get up like that from time to time, but I don't do that anymore. We have another movement here at 2 o'clock a couple days ago. So that crosses here and we enter here, but oops, goes against us. Drops about 13%. I probably would have ladder bought in here, around 10% drop. And then that comes back up. I would have gotten out right about here. So my first position would have broken even. My second position would have had a 10% profit. So the positions combined are 5% each. That's how I like to trade these types of setups. And this is another really good MFI setup here. It drops and then comes back up. And of course we catch the big move. This is probably more luck than technical analysis, but sure, 96%. That would be my best day trade of the year. Maybe of my career, but so with that in mind, right click on the MFI, add an alert, crossing up. I want it to dip below the 20 and then be coming up. So that's the best time to get in usually. Once per bar close, that's important. You don't want it to, well, repainting is not as much of an issue on these types of alerts, but I like to go with the once per bar close, plus it'll repeat. So you can sometimes do this 2 or 3 times in a day, or maybe once or twice a day for a week. And then I like to call this, whatever information source I've used. If it's an AA score, I'll put, whatever the score is, so I can track that on my spreadsheet. And I didn't really see any RSI touches below the 30, which is another alert I like to use, but I don't see any below the 30. So the MFI I think is a better option on this particular coin. Any questions on Bluezell? All right. Let's see what else we can find. So the other sort I like to do is a long-term sentiment sort. And what we have here, we have only 10 that are very bullish. And down to 60. So this is better than it's been, the last few Zooms I've done. There were sometimes none or just a couple. So that's helpful. But what we're not getting is the matchup with the elder impulse. Now, long-term sentiment's like it sounds. It's the word on the street, the Twitter data. And the long-term, as you can see here, is the last 24 hours versus the last 20 days. So very bullish and bullish. If I get a match with that and the elder impulse daily, which is a technical indicator, compares exponential moving average in the MACD to the 20 and the 50 day. If I get that match, and that's worthy of further investigation. So with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and sort by elder impulse daily because there's fewer of those than the long-term sentiment and see if I can find a match. Well, we already went over Bluezell. Oh, we have RSR here. That's right. This is up double digits today. So that's interesting. The AA score is bearish, but this information is still worth looking at. So I had that one up here. Let's go ahead and check it out. This one's just mostly fallen straight down. Did have a nice move here in April. And it has been trending up. We saw the 12% increase today on the Altcoin Alert. You have a big pump right here. And then it dropped quite a bit and then is recovering on the 5-minute. Yeah, we're above the SMA line. So this is, I'm not seeing a trade set up here at all. Got kind of a squeezy 1, 2, 3 dip here. Didn't really bubble that much. Here's a squeeze right here. So 1, 2, 3. Don't usually count the first one actually. So 1, 2, 3, green candle. And it's a really nice move there, 20% in 2 hours. But as a practical matter, I probably would have gone for right about here. I'm seeing some resistance around 4%. I would have been content with that. I have been doing more multiple exits with my trades. For example, on something like this, I might set my limit order to exit, here at 4% and take half my position out, then put a stop loss instead of anticipating a ladder buy, and I move a stop loss to slightly above break even. So now I have a risk-free trade, and then I just ride it up, keep an eye on it, and hopefully make some more money. If you could go to a trend-based alert system, and if a sell order goes off or a sell signal goes off, then you can get out then. But I've talked about the chandelier exit and super trend and some of those before, so those can be helpful for that purpose. ATR is another good one. Automatic true range, I think it stands for. But I'm just piling up on you now. So that's the RSR and the 5-minute on a potential setup. But what do we do now? I don't see a good. Well, we do have some support here in the short term, right around 0.8 cents. Some more here at about 0.77 cents. So those could be options for price alerts. On the 15-minute, we have some nice movements from MFI recoveries. So this would have come up here on this candle. So I probably would have gotten in, 3% move. I probably would have gone for something like this around the top of the Bollinger Band and just missed it. Probably would not have had a ladder buy at that point, but it does make a fast recovery and hits my exit. 4% in 5 hours. That's a good day trade. If I did the half price thing or the half sell thing, sell half my position here, hold on a little longer, pick up maybe another 5 to 10%. That's a really good day trade. So let's see if we have any other RSR. Yeah, this would have triggered as well with that type of alert. Just barely moved into it. So I don't see any really green candles coming up here to verify. So I don't know if I would have taken that one or not. Let's just say for purposes of illustration, I would have. So I get in right about here. And then I'm probably stuck in this for a while. Probably ladder buy around 10% loss. And then I lost my percentage, but I would have gotten out about here. Like I explained before, first position breaks even, second position picks up 10, 11%. So that's a good day trade, but it's really a 2-day trade. Okay, any questions on RSR? Very well. What else can we find? Well, since Robert's with us today, let's do the Robert 24-hour change sort. All right. I've also done a market cap sort when I'm just looking for volume. Doing it sometimes in scalping. I don't really care about the price, the specific coin or the price movement. I want big volume because I'm going to be using high leverage. For those of you who trade leverage, so I just look at the top 5 and kind of look at their charts and see what they're doing. So I did something like that this morning with. So I've got alerts on Ethereum, BNB, and Cardano that I've been looking at, but I I digress. 24-hour change. These are the hot coins for the day. What's stinky? What's really dropped? Luna is a consistent participant in this this sort. Celsius, CVX, MTL. I traded that a while ago. ANC. I think that's on Coinbase. Ren Waves. Waves has a drop at bullish short-term sentiment. You're not going to get really anything good. Usually not anything good here. This is rare. We got a drop and then a bullish elder impulse daily.
Yeah, Waves has a 71.4 score, which is nothing else is spectacular.
Yeah, and that's intriguing. So Altcoin Alert's telling us that Waves has based on past data, Waves has a 71.4% chance of going up 3% or more in the next 48 to 72 hours. Let's check it out.
Yeah, that's a good coin.
Yeah, I like trading Waves. I don't know much about the project, but it moves well. So, okay, it's moving down. So last day and a half, down 10%. That's not good. Kind of in a squeeze. Yeah, less than 3% between the Bollinger Bands. Don't like that as an entry. And when we get a dip sequence, these are just kind of all dipping. Everything's in the bottom of the Bollinger Band. So when you get a bubble, you get several dips here, but they're squeezy dips. Not what we're looking for. We want the dips in the bubble.
Well, there is a dip in the bubble to the right of where you are now.
Yeah, but I'm looking for 3 of them. And can't really illustrate an ideal 1, 2, 3 dip. This is the opposite of what I'm looking for. All right, we've looked at enough that I think the new folks get the message. So
Yeah.
So what do we do now? Let's go. We're already below support, so there's really nowhere. You could put a price alert down here at 6.87 cents, just below. That's just not very good support though. Each support keeps falling down. So I want to see a recovery, and to get that, that's where we go to our indicator alerts. However, this one sort of worked on the MFI. It dropped down, came back up above the 20. We get in right about here. 1.6%. I probably would not have taken that as an exit. I would have been looking probably at the SMA line for about 3.5%. So I would still be in that trade. So that would not have been productive yet. Got another dip here. Another one here, and none of these are really working out. This one did. So the last 3 MFI dips have not worked out. This one did. Obviously we got that move up there. That would have been a good trade. That one didn't quite cross. This one back on the 7th was a good one as well. Sometimes you put these alerts in on the 15-minute chart. They won't trigger at all during the day, or maybe you get 2 or 3 alerts. It just depends on how volatile the market is. The RSI doesn't seem to be giving us any better readings. Actually, it would have triggered on this one here. So that would have been 3% in less than 10 hours. That's a pretty good day trade. But didn't trigger this one here like the MFI did. That's a much better setup. And then you have a couple dips here. That's the same scenario we already looked at. So let's say we're going to do the RSI alert. Right click on it, crossing up, go with 30 on the value. Once per bar close, and it's 24-hour sort. Actually, I give Robert credit for it. 24-hour sort on AA. So that's what I would do on that one. Okay. Any other coins you guys want to look at on Altcoin Alert or the charts? Very well. I think I will go ahead and end this here. For those of you in Carbon, we have Kevin's webinar coming up in about 25 minutes. And then I will start my Carbon Zoom probably about 5 minutes after his is over. So you'll need to drop off and come back. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the recording here. Those of you watching on the recording, thank you for doing that. Please check out the opportunities in the comments below, and we will see you on Monday.